Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning. Alright, students, since I'm using Zoom right now, so basically for the free versions, we only have 40 minutes. So if let's say I'm might be lost from the contact, so I want you to keep stay and I will continue back. Huh? Okay, I hope that everybody clear with my voice right now. All right. Okay. So yeah, as I mentioned in the previous class, we have actually 12 topics for this subject. For those who are the newcomers, and I, from my observation and from Sebat mentioning to me that still add and drop because a few students still add and drop the subject for this week too. So I will proceed with our live lecture today. So I will start with our topic one. All right. Okay. Again, assalamualaikum and very good morning. All right. So for those who registered this subject and do not know what is my name is Miss Noorsyalina Nordin. I'm from School of Business and Legal Studies. Before this, is known as School of Management, and every semester I will be servicing at Federation of School of Undergraduate Studies, SFU. Okay, and yeah, this is my currently subject that I taught every semester. So BUMGT 3715, Designing Effective Organization. Oh, okay, to answering your friend's question regarding the manual is on right now, meaning to say the supplier is start to selling. For those who are interested, I will sharing to you all in the group letter the URL link in order to order the books. Okay, and bear in mind the process of selling and prepare all the manual will be accordingly to the SOP guideline, because some of your friends is asking about whether the books and the manual being prepared according to SOP. Yes, the answer is yes. Okay, so I have to highlight it on this thing because I only taught you all, okay, teaching you all using the slide, and the rest of the explanation will be in your manual. So I hope that you will be buying those the manual, because the manual is not the packaging and the preparation is not done and prepared by me. It will be by the supplier and it will be delivered to your house. So make sure you give your correct postcode address and a fully address, and the payment also like you are using Shopee. Okay, so you will everything in that is not related with me. After all, I only just prepare for the soft copy to the suppliers, and the rest you will deal with the supplier. Okay, so make sure your address will be the correct one, okay, to make sure that your manual is delivered to your house. All right, I think that is all for the manual. Okay, all right, so without further ado, I will continue on our syllabus today. Okay, so our syllabus today, chapter 1 is about organizations and the organizational theory. For those who do not know what the textbook that we use, actually we use the Richard L. Duff 11 editions. Okay, this is done by Cengage Learning publisher, and you can get the original copy from all the bookstores. Okay, but of course, the English learning publisher is quite expensive. That's why I prepared for you all the manual in order to make sure that the manual is only for the topic that included for our syllabus and also for your final exam. Okay, bear in mind, 60% is your assessment, which be your carry marks. Okay, that's why I urge you all to buy the manual, because everything in the manual, especially when you want to refer for your assignment, we have individual assignment, means like peer assignment, and also we have the group assignment. So for the final exam, most probably all the topics will be included, and it's not enough, it's just only depending on the slide. Okay, so yeah, okay, I will proceed. Okay, because we only have the 40 minutes. Okay, all right, so organization theory in action. Okay, what is this? Okay, basically when we're talking about the current challenges, this is the issues that mostly arising in the world right now. Okay, we have the globalization, we have intense competition, we have ethics and social responsibility, speed of the responsiveness, the digital workplace, and also diversity workforce. Okay, so this is the current challenges that mostly we deal every day in the organization. Okay, when we're talking about the globalization, we are talking about the world is being spread around the world by using the fastest information, or and then the world become further faster and quick as before. Okay, because of the usage of the internet and online. And when we're talking about the intense competition, every single of the MNC company, multinational company and corporation will be keep on fighting. Can I say fighting? Yeah, it's something like competing each other. It's very stiff competition and also very intense due to every single of the company want to show what is the added value of the company have, and then what is the um what we call something like the intellectual property that they have that make they are different from the other companies. And then the ethics and social responsibility, we are talking about how does each of the company able to make sure that they are running the business in the way of in the proper manner and according to the guideline. Okay, and when we're talking about social responsibility, maybe this term might be new to you, but if I mention corporate social responsibility, CSR, this is talking about the terms that how the company make sure and in order to balancing between the profits and at the same time to the public and also the citizens. So there will be serve the citizen, they will serve the society in to make sure that it can be balancing between win-win situation between their profitability and also their society. Okay, because they believe that the society also supporting their business. Huh? And then the fourth one, we're talking about the speed of responsiveness. We are talking about how does each of the company, especially the company who are dealing with the services, how they have the quick services on how they respond each of their services to the customer. Because customer nowadays, they are talking about speedity. Okay, they are talking about how fast you can serve them, because for them they are paying you, they are using your services, they have to make sure that the services is giving the good services and also benefits to them, especially in the responsiveness. And the next one, we're talking about the digital workplace. We are talking about how does the workplace able to communicate in the way of using technology. Okay, because we're talking about digital nowadays. So digital is not just talking about the clock. After all, we are talking about how does the company able to provide and facilitate with the technology to the customer in the way on like like now, right? Everybody are using something like online banking or online shopping, and then they're also using like in the kinds of tools and also appliances. For example, like us, we are using online learning like using Zoom, Google Meet, Google Team, Microsoft Team. And then we have a lot of the, if you realize or no, in the food and beverages industry nowadays, they are using also like online delivery services, right? So every single of this one is involving of digital digital evolution in their workplace. And then the next one, we're talking about diversity workforce. We are talking about how does the diversity and diversify of the multiple of their employees, okay, employers. Then we have to know how they are do and don'ts in terms of their cultural workplace. Okay, for example, when you're working with the Japanese company, you know how to know that in terms of their time management. If you're working with the European company, you know how the way of their working style. And then if you're working in the US company, how the way of their approach, whether they are individualism, groupism. So this is for talking about diversity. And from this diversity, actually we learn a lot, because if we are in our own country, mostly basically we are only know our own culture. But if we realize when we are blend and also mix with the other culture, we know that, oh, this is how actually I can learn, and the way of your working style also will be totally different. And then as you can see in here, I think that for introduction is too much, right? Okay, right. So for the organization theory, help us explain what happened in the past as well as what happened in the future, so that we can manage organization more effectively. So this is the introduction part. Okay, what is it an organization? Okay, are you listen to me? Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Okay, I think okay, fine, right? Okay. So when we're talking about what is an organization, okay, organization is the social entities that are goal directed, meaning to say every single organization they must have the mission, they must have a vision. So when we're talking about mission, MISSION, I have to spell to you because when we listen to this what we call video lecture, sometimes my pronunciation might be not familiar to you all because you are mostly probability you are from Nigeria, right? So our mother tongue totally might be different, right? Okay, so when we're talking about mission, I start with okay? We are talking about the short goal, okay? Whereby the current goal. And then when we're talking about vision, okay, VISION, we are talking about the future goals, okay? So basically, when talking about social entities, meaning to say the company, okay, how does it actually exist and how they can actually chasing their mission and also their vision at the same time, okay? And the second one, design as deliberately structured and coordinated activity systems, okay? I think that I have to recap back with our subject like principle of management or principle and practice of management. For those DBA and diploma from IIC, I think that you shouldn't miss this out, okay? So when talking about deliberately structured and coordinated activity system, we are talking about management process. So we have POLC and plus with S, we have planning, organizing, leading, and controlling plus with the staffing. So when we're talking about coordinated activity system, we are talking about how does the planning can become a good planning by the good planner, and then how does the organizer will be organizing, okay, the activity, and how does we're talking about the leader will lead, okay, the organization and make sure that they delegate the task well. And when talking about C, controlling, how well they can actually controlling in terms of the budget and also expenses of the company organization to make sure they are not flooding away and have losses. And the last one we have S, we're talking about staffing, staffing to make sure that we implement the 3R, okay? I like to use this 3R acronym because you will remember it as well. Okay, 3R is select the right people at the right place, at the right position, at the right time. So make sure when you are doing this POLC to make sure that you are select the good planner, select the good organizer, select the good leader, and select the good controller. So this is how this coordinated activity system will be operated in the organization. And the third one, we're talking about link to the external environment. I again will use the acronym. We're talking about PESTEL, PESTEL, not pastel color, but how this P is referring to political, E is economic, S is social, T is technology, E is ethics, and also L legal system. So how does this external environment can be coordinated to each other? And we will go further in the next chapter. And the fourth one includes the large multinational corporation. This is the thing, the terms that I mentioned previously. If you still remember, I have MNC, okay, MNC, not MICKEY, okay. So MNC is referring to multinational corporation, the family-owned businesses as well as non-profit. So we when talking about the organization is not just MNC, but it's also like sole proprietorship or maybe partnership or maybe corporation, and also like NGOs and non-profit organizations. So this is all that we can call it as the element and some of the uh, basic social entities under the organization. All right, and then we're moving to importance of the organization. Okay, why does this organization is very important? Okay, there is a few of the reason, but at least you can remember five importance. Okay, number one, organization are a means to an end. Okay, so meaning to say in here, from the start you are joining the company organization until the end, they call so called as the organization. Okay, so meaning to say organization is still called organization after all, whatever it will be happen. Okay, and the second one, the corporation have played a significant role in the last 100 years. Okay, because we're talking about the company is starting from the small company, from sole proprietorship, and then become a partnership, become corporation, and now become multinational corporation. So it takes time for 100 years. If you realize, I give 100 years companies. We have the IBM, International Business Machine, and then we we also have HP, Hello Packets, and then we have also like McDonald, okay, and we have what else? The company, for example, GlaxoSmithKline. So this is all the company that have a what we're talking about significant has played 100 years, okay. And the third one, produce good and services efficiently, okay. When I use the word efficiently in here, I want you to remember efficiently meaning to say you are maximize your profit and minimize the cost. Why? Because you're able to maximize your profit at the same time using a very few costs, okay. So this is the smart, okay, strategy when we able to produce the good and services at the same time by maximize the profit and also minimize the cost, okay. And the fourth one, we're talking about facilitate innovation. If you ask me what's mean innovation, okay, what is this innovation? Innovation is something like you try to break the truth, okay. You break the cycle, meaning to say that it's not a common, this is not just ordinary product and services, it's extraordinary product, extraordinary services. So how you want to facilitate the innovation? Number one, make sure you are following the trend, okay. I just want to add some of because some of us are Muslim in the class, right? And some of you non-Muslim. I believe that for the non-Muslim, you also have your own kitab. So according to our kitab, like Al-Quran, okay, Surah Ar-Ra'd, verse 11, okay, Allah wouldn't change the fate of the people until the people is change their own fate. Okay, sesungguhnya Allah tak akan mengubah nasib sesuatu kaum melainkan kaum itu mengubah nasibnya sendiri. So when talking about this innovation, is talking about change. Okay, so you have to change yourself in order to make sure that you are following the innovation, you're following the change management. And then adapt to and influence a changing environment. Just now I already mentioning about why does we need the changing. Okay, why we need to change the management. Because why? Because we have to following the trend. Okay, if not, we will like be obsolete and also we out to date. Okay, out to date mean here we are not following the trends, and after all, when the other company already using a technology, we are not using the technology as well as what the current is using. Okay, so that's why when we're talking about changing environment in here, you have to be very responsiveness, you have to be very observable, okay, to make sure that you are following the trend. Because you are not talking about just following the fashion as well, but we are talking about the how does the management nowadays, okay, we are not rigid only just following the bureaucratic and also hierarchy of the organizational structure. Nowadays, more on the multitasking work, more on flattening organization structure, okay, and then create values for the owners, customer, and the employees. When talking about value, I like to touch on part of the value added. Okay, when you buy some products, let's say I buy this sanitizer, okay, what does this sanitizer means to me right now? If you ask me to buy sanitizer maybe 10 years ago, or maybe last year, or maybe 2 years ago, okay, I might say, why does I need sanitizer? Okay, but nowadays I'm talking about today, why I have to buy this sanitizer? Because we are facing this pandemic, COVID-19, right? So everybody have to take care about themselves using masks, using sanitizer, and social distancing. Okay, so that's why the value added for the customer here is also to take care of yourself. Especially when you're talking about hand hygienist, we have to make sure that we clean it. Washing your hand at the same time, we also sanitize our hand. Okay, so that is actually been encouraged to do that. And then when we're talking about to create the value for the owners, the customer, and employees at the same time, to make sure they have the benefit when they are using that product or services. This is very important because when you're buying something, of course you want that the things that giving some back in return value to you. I don't think so. When you're buying something, there is nothing to you. It's very rare, right? Okay, but mostly you want something that value added is given return to you back. And then the last one, we have accommodate ongoing challenges of diversity, ethics, and the motivation and coordinations of the employees. So when we're talking about this thing, okay, number one, to make sure that Okay, that in terms of the ongoing challenges of diversity, I think I give some example. Maybe we're talking about time management. If you're working with Japanese company, for example, MNC mostly, Japanese, they are very particular about the time management, whereby Malaysian time is not equally to Japanese time. Malaysian, when they said, okay, I meet you at 12 o'clock afternoon, right? So it's already 12. Where are you? I on the way. I on the way. That is time management Malaysian people. I'm so sorry. I'm not racist, but this I'm talking about the factual, huh? And when we're talking about Japanese time, when they said 12 afternoon, 11 o'clock, they're already waiting for you 1 hour earlier. Okay, this is how they put some of discipline in time of management for them, because for them, waiting 1 hour earlier to make it sharp, punctual is a business ethics. Okay, we are talking about business etiquette. Okay, we are talking about how serious the business have to be deal. But if 12 o'clock afternoon, if you still not okay exist, you still not turn up, the 1 hour they are waiting for you is actually totally waste. Okay, and we're talking about the serious business deal. So meaning to say these people have the potential not serious in the business. That's it. Okay, so we are talking about the challenges in terms of time management, work practicing, okay, work practices, ethics, okay, and the motivation and coordination of the employees. So how the way you want to motivate, okay, every morning maybe you give something like roll call, okay, roll call, you know, something like briefing to your, especially when you are in a marketing department, you have to make sure that everybody have some briefing from you. What is the target sales for today? So give some roll call to them, so to make sure they have some motivation to do their work. Okay, you know, when we're talking about the routine work, sometimes it's very bored, but if you have something like um we call paradigm shift. Oh, I'm used to using the terms, right? Paradigm shift towards like how you want to motivate them as a good leader. Okay, I always mention this one to my students. Okay, all managers, sorry, all leaders can become a managers, but not all managers can become a leader. Okay, I translate into bahasa. Excuse me to the foreign student. Semua pemimpin boleh menjadi pengurus, tapi tidak semua pengurus boleh menjadi pemimpin. Why? Because this is what we call as interpersonal approach, interpersonal skills that should have in one leader. Okay, and when we're talking about motivation and coordination of employees, this is the role that the leader should taken into significant role. Okay, why? Because we are talking about how does they can make you motivate to do the work. It's one of the factor, not only just about money, 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 money. Of course, the money also important, right? But we're talking about motivation. Even though you are being paid so much, huge amount, okay, big pay, but if you don't motivate to do that work, after all, it will be just gone be bygone. Okay, so I'm moving to the next one. I hope that I record this one. Huh? Yeah, I'm recording. Okay, all right. Then I keep on blah 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 blah, and suddenly I'm not recording because it's important, because I want to put into your new. Since it's your friend still add and drop, I have to prepare with the new, and after all I will upload the video in the new. Okay, all right. So the importance of the organization. What is the import? Oh, this one I already explaining to you all, but they is transfer it into diagram. Okay, the good things about theory subject, when you have this kind of diagram, easy for you to remember, to memorize. So you can use this one as a tips in order to remember. Okay, so we're moving to the dimensions of the organization design. Okay, we have structural dimension versus contingency factors. Okay, under the structural dimension, we have formalization, specialization, hierarchy of authority, centralization, professionalism, and personnel ratios. And then when we're talking about contingency factors, we have size, organizational technology, environment goals, and strategy, and also the culture. Okay, so what is this? Okay, interacting structural dimensions of design and contingency factors. If you realize at this box, okay, you realize that one? Okay, all right. So under the structural dimension, and you see the circle one, culture, technology, size, environment, goals, and strategy. That one is under, sorry, That one is under contingency factors. This one, if you see the error, right? Are you realize this one? Okay, okay. So this one, we have the error. Okay, and then you realize or not the inside the box there, and the cycle is actually subset to each other, right? And then for the structural dimension, they have formalization, specialization, hierarchy of authority, and centralization. Okay, what actually this diagram to tell to you all is it keep related to each other. Okay, in order to have this interaction between one dimension to the other dimension, it have to be consist all these element: culture, the purple one; environment, the green one; goal and strategy, the blue one; size is the orange color, and the red one is technology. And then under the structural dimension, it have all these four elements. I think if you got your manual letter, you can see further explain on this element. Alright. Okay. So for those who do not know what's mean organization chart, this is how the organization chart all about. We have POD, we have executive committee, we have executive director. But bear in mind, level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here, it depending on the size of the company and size of the organization. The more larger the size of organization, the more actually specific the organization chart or organizational structure of the company. The smaller the company, the smaller also their organization chart, because it's not be specifically structured, and many more they are more, sorry, furthermore, okay, the small company mostly they are multitasking. Okay, they used to make more than one job and not specifically like this. Okay, all right, so we move to the characteristic of the three organization. So if you see from this can I say this diagram, we have a company, technology, size, goal, and also they have structural characteristic. And if you realize the structural characteristic, they have the blue color for strong hierarchy of authority, and the green color is formalization, red color is specialization, and the purple color is centralization. So under the company, let's say I start from my left, my left here. For you, you start from right. Okay, left. Okay, for the company Tinnery software, they are software development, and then mostly the size of the people is 25 to 30 people. So I consider this is a small company. And then the goals is innovation. Okay, they go and moving to technology innovation. Okay, for the company like Walmart, they are retailing company and they do have 250,000 plus people in the staff. Okay, and the goals is to maximize profit and minimize cost efficiency. So we can see in here, okay, this is considered as a large company, a big company, and also multinational company. And for the state arts agency, we this is categorized as government agency. And compared to the tannery software just now, these have around 50 to 55 people. And the goal also to maximize profit and minimize costs. And if you realize in terms of their structural characteristic, the Walmart company is giving a very high in terms of their strong hierarchy, formalization, specialization, and also centralization. Why I said so? Because this is involving a large company or considered as multinational corporation. Okay, so we're moving to the performance and effectiveness outcome. Okay, so we highlighted on the points of what is efficiency. Okay, so efficiency is amount of the resources um, used to achieve the organization goal. Okay, so when we're talking about the amount of the resources to use to achieve the organization goal, so like I told you just now, we are talking about maximize the profits, minimize the cost. So in terms of the resources that we use for in order to produce okay, product or services is minimal, very minimal, and maybe in very small amount, but we able to produce and maximize the profit. And effectiveness, the degree to which an organization achieve its goal. So when we're talking about the degree, we are talking about the level on how does the organization able to achieve their goals. Maybe the goals can be in future goals, that vision, or maybe it can be mission or current goals. And then we're talking about stakeholder approach, balancing the needs of the group in and outside of the organization that has stake in the organization performance. For those who did not know what means stakeholder example like IIC. Okay, let's say IIC. If you ask me who is the IIC stakeholder, it can be like a supplier. Okay, suppliers of chairs, suppliers of book, suppliers of the table set, suppliers of the whiteboard, and then maybe it can be suppliers of computers. Okay, or it can be like the parents, your parents. Okay, and then maybe we can goes like stakeholder can be like PR, public relations. Okay, between the IIC and to the external. So we are talking about the groups that from outside to inside of the company, and this kind of party or this kind of people or organization, they have vested interest. Vested interest meaning to say they have um large amount of interest towards our company, and they also get some benefit from our company. So that's why I said to you, okay, when we're talking about balancing the needs of the group in and outside, yeah, you also is a part of our stakeholder. Okay, so you have to make sure that mm, this thing, especially when it comes to something like issue might be occurred, we have to make sure that this stakeholder is being well informed. Because if they're not being well informed about any regards to the issue that occur in our company, there will be a problem because they also part of the investor of the company. Okay, all right, and then we talking about the major stakeholder groups and what they expect. Okay, so just now I mentioned about suppliers. Okay, public relations. Okay, I'm talking about you as a customer, students. Okay, this is number one. We're talking about the owners and also the stockholders. Okay, in terms of financial return, employees, we as a staff, lecturers in IIC. Okay, we have satisfaction, pay and supervision. Customer, you, okay, the students, high quality goods and services, service and value. The creditors, okay, in terms like bank, okay, they're involving with IIC, okay, creditworthiness and also fiscal responsibility. I think like creditors in IIC, what we use under IIUM is Bank Islam, okay, and then management in terms of efficiency and also effectiveness, and government obedient to the laws and regulation. Of course, when we're talking about the government, we're talking about KPT, Ministry of Education, okay, and then Ministry of High Education, sorry, MOHE, and then we have also fair competition, okay, because each of us is having competitors, okay, even though we are private sectors education institution, however we competing with the other institution, education institution, and also the union. I see we don't have these kinds of thing, we don't have the union, but if you ask me in other industry, for example like teachers in Malaysia, yes, they have their own union under Malaysian Union Teacher Congress, MUTC. And then also for the banking sector, we have new National Union Employee Bank. Okay, that mostly they have their own union. For those who do not know what's mean union, union is the group of people collectively, employees that working, they are together to form their group in order to fight for their rights. Okay, especially when come to like their pay, okay, their working condition and so forth. And then we're talking about benefits. Of course, when people are working, of course they expecting that they will get some the added value in terms of their benefits in return. And then community, we have good corporate citizen, okay, in terms of how does to become a good Malaysian citizen. A good Malaysian citizen obey to the rules, okay, using mask, okay, in the public right now, right, starting from the 1st August, the Ministry of Health and also Ministry of our what we call state, okay, already announcing there will be obligatory to use mask. Okay, if not, you've been compounded for a compound for 1,000 for the penalty for not using the mass. And then contribution to the community affairs, to make sure that every single of the community which be needy, might be fulfill their satisfaction and need. That's why certain of NGOs, okay, non-profit organization is coming and giving some help, because when we're talking about this kind of the group, every single group have their role and also responsibility when come to help each other, right? Okay, and then we have the suppliers in terms of the satisfactory transaction. Of course, we are talking about CRM, okay, customer relationship management. So number one, in terms of the measurement, we're talking about satisfaction. Okay, satisfaction is very important. If not, you can't actually proceed with your services and also products, because people looking into how much you can satisfy your clients and also your customer. And revenue from purchase, okay, for those who do not know what's mean revenue, we are talking about the profits, okay, profits that actually you gain from every single purchase being made. And then of course when you selling certain product and maybe giving some services, you have to mark up certain of the marginal cost, okay, because from the marginal cost that you mark up, of course, is a part of your revenue. All right, so we're moving to the next one. I think that we almost to the end, but it's okay. Okay, if I can finish by topic one today is much more blissful. Okay, so the evolution of organization theory and also design in the historical perspective provide insight into how organization design and management practices have varied over time in response to changes in society. Okay, so there will be some evolution occurred during the long time ago. So from the historical perspective, okay, efficiency is everything. So according to the theory from the scientific management, the pioneer is by Frederick Winslow Taylor. If you still remember, during this is occurred during the World War II, which will be occurred in 1946. Okay, so during this time, okay, there is no measurement. If I still remember about this, because yeah, when we're talking about subject management, if you not remember this one, they will kill us, right? Who? Our lecturer. Okay, so when we're talking about during this scientific management theory, so the measurement is about quantity over quality. So during this time, Frederick Winslow Taylor said, okay, when we're talking about efficiency, the efficiency must be countable according to the quantity. Okay, so every single of the employees or the workers able to produce more, so the employees productivity is based on the quantity. When they produce more, they are more efficient. So in other way around, they don't, I didn't say that they're not based on the quality, but they are more concentrate on the quantity, because during the 1946, during the World War II, the life is very suffering. So what they have to do, they have to produce more, they have to work 24 hours and to make sure that they can actually achieve their goal. All right, and the second one, how to get organized. So according to this theory, it based on the administrative principle. So I want to remember this thing, because it's what theory. Okay, contribute to the bureaucratic organization. So when we're talking about the contribute to the bureaucratic organization, we are talking about hierarchy structure, pyramids of organization. So when talking about bureaucratic, when you're able to be joining some of the majority of the organization structure, for example, that you are belong to the certain of, can I say like chronism? Yeah, chronism. Okay, so you are being more powerful compared to those who are not joining any others of the group of employees. Maybe you are staying alone, you are independent, so you don't join any kinds of the group. So people looking at you like, you are not so powerful compared to those who are in this kind of the bureaucratic organization. The good things about bureaucratic, you have good sports. Okay, you have many supporters. But when you are alone, you are standing alone, you are independent, mostly you are not like that many support. You have less support, and people might say that you are not blend with others like that. All right, and what about people? This is according to the Houghton study. Okay, so that's why I need you to buy the manual. So Houghton studies is talking about how does the people can able to contribute, okay, to their organization, okay, by giving some of the good KSA, okay, knowledge, skill, abilities, and attitudes, okay. And can bureaucracies is be flexible? So this is some of the I can say famous issue, okay. Flexible and lean, focus on service quality and engage employees. This is been stated during 1908, okay. Can bureaucracies be flexible? Depend on how does the organization can operate their industry, how they can operate their business, and it all depends. And you can see that key contingency, there is no one best way. So when talking about contingency, we are talking about backup plan. Every single the things that you done, especially when it come to the strategy, okay, plan A, plan B, plan C, you have to come up with the contingency. Okay, if the plan A is not goes well, you have to go with plan B. Plan B is not goes well, so we go with the plan C. Okay, so that's why we need this contingency in order to make sure, okay, that you are not cook up. When you cook up, it means that you are not competent enough. All right. Okay, and then we have the Mitzberg organization types. We have technical support staff at my left side, and for the right side, we have administrative support staff. And this is mostly, in the pyramid organization structure, we have top management, middle management, and also technical core, or we can call as lower level employees. Okay, so Minsburg proposed that they have 5 parts could fit together in any types of the organizations. So in the real life organization, the 5 parts are interrelated and often serve more than one function. And it truly indeed, because when we're talking about this thing, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have top, middle, and technical core, which is mostly focusing on operation 9, and then technical support staff, and then administrative support staff. We are talking about how does they able to multitask in terms of their work, not only just depending on one task. All right, and then organic versus mechanistic. Okay, this is very popular question because I might say every semester this question is come about. Okay, come out. Okay, so when we're talking about organic versus mechanistic, okay, what is mechanistic? Characterized by the machine-like standard rules and procedure with the clear authority. So it means that the organization is follow the rules. Okay, and for the organic design of the organization is a loser, free flowing, and adaptive. Okay, so meaning to say, which one is the best? So I don't have the right answer for this. Both have the best strategy, and depending how it can suit the current situation. Okay, if you ask me during this pandemic COVID-19, of course, organic is the best strategy. Okay, and if you ask me in the ordinary situation, maybe mechanistic is the best strategy. Again, we have to rely back again with the industry, what industry that you are entering. Okay, so mechanistic and yeah, okay, as you see in this table, depends upon structure, task or role, system formality, communication, hierarchy versus collaboration. Okay, so this is the diagram. If you can remember this diagram, I would say Deva to you all. Why? Because this is not easy to remember, but if you can remember the diagram and also remember the keywords, this is how maybe the question asks about what is the difference between organic and mechanistic design. So you can give all these points much better. And if you can give more elaboration and explanation towards it, it's much more better. Okay, so under mechanistic design, okay, we have large size. Okay, they are typical contingency factor. Mostly in mechanistic design, they are large size company, and then they are very efficient. Okay, in terms of strategy being done, they maximize profit and minimize cost, and they are very stable environment. Of course, mostly like in the government sector, and then they are very rigid culture. That's why I mentioning just now government sector, because why? Mostly all the rules policy done must be come from the government. So of course it will be rigid. You cannot change it according to any current situation might be occur, it must get the policy from the government. And then manufacturing technology. They said here mostly in manufacturing technology. Depend. If let's say I give example like Proton or maybe the RB Highcom company, this is how they used to. Okay, and then for the typical contingency factors for the organic design, mostly they are small size company and they are more innovation strategy. Okay, they want to learn something like the new technology. They will goes with the the adapting of new technology, for example like JIT system, Kanban system, and then we have also changing environment because they keep on updating the new one. They don't just like frog under the leaf. Okay, they will be have some the new innovation. They want to come out with the new idea, fresh idea, following the trend. And also they are adaptive culture. When they have to change something, they must be quick adaptive towards the new culture. And of course they are more on service technology. Okay, of course if technology is obsolete, the customer will be totally, I might say customer don't want you. Okay, the customer is not preferred you as the one of the chosen as the best company for the technology industry, textile industry, fashion. Okay, what else? Maybe in terms like food industry is half all about organic design. All right, and then we're moving to the contemporary ideas. This is to close up this and to summarize this topic. Today's organization are still imprinted with the hierarchical, formalized, mechanistic approach. Yeah, I agree on this statement. We are still using this kind of mechanistic, still rigid, and the open system are adaptive and interact with the environment. Yeah, because they are still ongoing, and then we have to make sure that the environment is very well versed to be followed and of course up to date. And chaos theory states that relationship in a complex system are non-linear. Non-linear meaning this is not aligned together. Okay, chaos operates with some predictability, which is the challenge of the today managers. So meaning to say, they try to cope with any maybe ad hoc tasks. Okay, they have to make sure that there will be complexity every time we do some of the change management. However, hook by crook. Okay, as a good leader, as a good managers, we will have to face with it. And then this is to sum up the books. Okay, the framework of the books. Number one, we will be examine the specific characteristic of organization. It's very good to highlight on this one because this is the actually a picturing what chapter all about, and then the potential question will come out for your final exam. And then examine the nature of and relationship among the groups and departments. And organization behavior is the micro approach. Okay, and organization theory is the macro examination, meaning to say organizational behavior and organizational theory will be have the subset. Okay, micro is the OB, organization behavior, and organization theory will be the macro, the mothers, okay, of the theory, macro examination. And then organization theory is concerned with the big picture of the organization and its major departments. Okay, so I think like we end of our topic today. Okay, I hope that everybody will be happy. Okay, with those the explanation, happy. Yeah, and I hope that we will meet again. Okay, inshallah. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe my channel, Noorsyalina Nordin. I will upload this one in YouTube, and see you again. Okay, inshallah. After I already upload this one in Neo and invite you in the Neo after settle all the add and drop. Still have add and drop. It makes something like Hawaii for me because I don't want to keep ads to student only or for 1, 2, 3 student. I want it's lump sum. Okay, and please take care yourself. And thank you for joining me today. And I hope that you please take care using your mask simultaneously. And also using sanitize your hand, keep washing your hand, and please take care. Assalamualaikum and a very good day. Bye.